This is the last week in PlayStation number 5. Definitely going to keep this up every single week because the last month of making them has been really fun, and I hope you're enjoying watching them as much as I'm enjoying making them. This is the weekly news show where I round up all of the PlayStation news that has happened in the past week and put it into one easy to watch video so you don't have to go looking for it. This video is for the week beginning the 13th of July, and we have certainly got some pretty interesting things to go over this week. Before we begin, please give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button because it only takes a second, and I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers by December 31st before moving into 2021. Any bit of support really helps out the channel in these early days. Today we learn Sony might not be ready to ditch the PS4 just yet. We got a great look at the Dualsense controller, and we have a few other cool stories. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's PlayStation news. The first bit of news we're going to take a look at today actually comes from GamesRadar.com. The headline is, "There is a lot more to come from PlayStation 4, PlayStation marketing head says." The article then reads, while Sony is pushing a clear generational leap for PlayStation 5, it will continue to support PS4 in 2021 and beyond. Worldwide head of PlayStation marketing Eric Lampel discussed the company's PS4 outlook with Jeff Keighley at the end of the recent Summer Games Festival Dualsense reveal, which I will be talking about in just a little bit. Lampel stressed that the PS4 remains important to the company and that PS4 owners have plenty of new games to look forward to. We believe that all of these things combined, as well as all the other great PS5 features we've spoken about, really lead to a next generation experience, he says, and in many cases we can't take everybody with us from previous consoles into that experience. You need new hardware, you need new devices to experience what these developers want you to experience. PlayStation 4 is a big part of everything we do and will continue to be a big part of everything we do, Lampel continues. There's a lot more to come from PlayStation 4. I think we're seeing some of the greatest titles of this generation release in recent weeks, and that will continue. PlayStation 5 is the next generation product, but we've still got a lot to come for people on PlayStation 4. There's still a ton of life in that product. Lampel does a great job of reassuring consumers that their PlayStation 4 system isn't just going away right off the bat. We always see this transition period in a new console generation. For the next year or so, the biggest, best games will be on your PlayStation 5, but the usual handful of Ubisoft games, sports games and Call of Duty and indie games will be on both for a while to get people through that transition period. A lot of people will need time to be sold on PlayStation 5, so it's good to see the PS4 isn't being forgotten about just yet, but I never really thought it was going to get forgotten about so quickly anyway. Nevertheless, this is a pro-consumer move, and I can't see it bottlenecking any PS5 games, at least not exclusives anyway. It also just means more for your PS5 because any PlayStation 4 game going forward has to have a PS5 version. This next one really isn't my area at all. I'm not into these games, but if you are, this is important news to you, and I'm going to try and pronounce this. I think I've heard it said in other videos before. Danganronpa games will be pulled from the PlayStation Store in September. This one comes from PushSquare.com. The first of the games being pulled from the PlayStation Online Store will actually take place on the 31st of August 2020, a day before September, when Danganronpa Another Episode Ultra Despair Girls, that's a mouthful, will no longer be purchasable on PS Vita. Following that game, later in September, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc and Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair will also be taken off the store on the 4th of September 2020. Meanwhile, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony is losing its digital version on both PS Vita and PlayStation 4 from 25th of September 2020. It doesn't look like Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload Remaster has been affected by this, but the thinking from fans is that these titles will be republished by Spike Chunsoft itself. I'm assuming that's the Danganronpa publisher. Yeah, like I say, I don't really know anything about these games, but they say these games may go away for a little bit, but this probably doesn't mean the end of digital copies of Danganronpa games completely. However, making a move now will guarantee you access them for good. Also, the games getting republished might be all well and good if you want to buy them on your PlayStation 4, but they could never see the light of day on PS Vita again, as it's unlikely much is coming out to that system anymore. So yeah, act quickly on those Danganronpa games if you've been on the fence about buying them. Like I say, I'm not into anime, so this doesn't affect me, but it's good to get the word out nonetheless. Our third news story comes from TheVerge.com, and its headline is PlayStation 5 pack-in Astros Playroom is a DualSense controller demo. Every PlayStation 5 console will include a pack-in copy of Astros Playroom. It says pack-in copy, but I'm assuming it's going to be digital. A light-hearted platforming game based on the Astrobot Rescue Mission PSVR game. But a new gameplay demo from Jeff Keighley showed off what the game's real purpose is to introduce players to the console's new Dualsense controller, which adds a pile of innovations on top of the DualShock 4's already lengthy list of features. Keighley's hands-on was the first public demo of the new controller outside of Sony, and it gives the best look yet at what to expect from the PlayStation 5 when it launches later on this year. According to Keighley, the DualSense is heavier than the DualShock 4 and it has more heft to it in a good way. But the more interesting part of the video comes from his short playthrough of Astros Playroom, which, as shown by Keighley, is purpose-built to showcase DualSense features new and old. This reminds me of the Playroom. It's installed on every PlayStation 4. The only thing about the Playroom was that it was designed to show off the DualShock 4 and the PlayStation camera. So if you don't have the camera, you're not able to use the Playroom. My guess is part of Astros Playroom will need the HD camera accessory for the PlayStation 5, but its main job will be to show you around your new controller. I'd recommend watching Jeff Keighley's hands-on with it because it was really interesting to see some of the features in action, and you can find that over on the Game Awards YouTube channel. The only thing that I didn't find interesting about it was Astros Playroom trying to show off features that were on the DualShock 4, but then again, people could be moving from PS3 or Xbox One and haven't got to experience the touchpad and the speaker and all those things yet. Keighley does mention, however, that the speaker in the DualSense is much better than the DualShock 4's, which is good news to me because I've always found the DualShock 4 to have a really harsh speaker that can be a bit sore to listen to sometimes. PushSquare.com did a pretty cool backwards compatibility guide on their website this week, which I wanted to quickly run over. It essentially goes through each generation of PlayStation from what we know so far. I can't stress the words "what we know so far" enough, because if we get amazing backwards compatibility news at the next PlayStation event, obviously right now no one in the general public knows what is going to be announced. But anyway, on the PushSquare.com article it says you can't play PS3 games. Not strictly true considering you can stream them on PS Now, but you can't run PS3 games natively on PS5 hardware. It does say, however, the big PS3 games like The Last of Us and the Uncharted trilogy are on PS4 as remasters. They forgot to mention the amazing God of War 3 remaster, but I'll let that one slide. Some PS2 games that were ported to PS4 will be playable on PS5. This includes the essentials like Grand Theft Auto trilogy, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. However, you'll need to have purchased the PS4 versions in order to play them on PS5. The PS5 cannot play PS2 DVDs, and any PS2 classics you may have purchased on the PS3 will not be compatible either, which sucks because I want to play Sonic Heroes on my PS5 but it's stuck on my PS3. Also, there is a select few PS2 titles available to download from PS Now. On the topic of PlayStation 1 original games, you can't play PlayStation 1 games on PS5 so far. This includes PS1 game discs and PS1 classics that you may have purchased on PS3 or PSP or PS Vita in the past. There are a few PS4 remasters of PS1 games like Parappa the Rapper, Medieval that you'll be able to play on PS5, as well as the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy and Spyro Reignited trilogy. However, at this time you won't be able to play the original PS1 games on PS5. Then, as you would expect, the Vita and PSP games, no. But there are some exceptions. Patapon was remastered for PS4. I also think Loco Roco was as well. It's a PSP game and they're playable on PlayStation 5. Similarly, Gravity Rush was remastered for PS4 and is playable on PS5, just like Tearaway made its way to PS4 with its remastered Tearaway Unfolded. Honestly, I think I might do another video on PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility because my last one was like my 5th video and I feel like I could do a higher quality one now. Final bit of news is pretty lighthearted and it comes from GSM Arena. The PlayStation 5 is going to be heavy. Not really a surprise to anybody though. The Sony PlayStation 5 could very well be the heaviest gaming console when it launches, if this Amazon listing is anything to go by. According to the specs below the listing of a currently unavailable PlayStation 5 on Amazon Germany, the PlayStation 5 will weigh 5.78 kilograms. To put that number into context, the PlayStation 4 weighs 2.8 kilograms, while the PlayStation 5 is almost as heavy as the 5 kilogram PlayStation 3 from 13 years ago. Microsoft's current Xbox One X weighs 3.81 kilograms, while the rumoured Xbox Series X is expected to tip the scales at 4.45, which is only a 0.23 kilogram difference between the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. So it's nearly as heavy as Sony's incoming console. So it's probably a good time to not cheap out if you're purchasing a new entertainment unit for your living room, because you're going to need something strong. I already expected the PlayStation 5 to be very heavy because of everything that we've seen from the console so far. Ghost of Tsushima came out on Friday, so I hope everybody is having a brilliant time playing it. My Amazon order got delayed by 48 hours, and because the game came out on a Friday and there is no post on a Sunday, I am still waiting for my copy to arrive, but there isn't much I can do about that. I'm hoping it comes tomorrow so I can do Saturday's video on it, but we'll just have to wait and see. I wanted to do a game video on Wednesday, but I'm not sure if I want to do 2 in a week. I might actually do a fun retro system pickup video if my retro system that I ordered comes by Wednesday. I'm sure I'll figure out what I'm going to do. Let me know down in the comments, however, if you picked up Ghost of Tsushima and if it lived up to your expectations. Maybe it let you down. I'd love to know down below. Finally, I'm just going to quickly remind everybody that your free PS Plus games for the month of July are NBA 2K20, the latest installment in 2K's basketball video game series, Rise of the Tomb Raider, a really solid action-adventure Uncharted-esque game that you need to check out, and finally, the bonus game Erica, a unique live-action game where you make decisions that alter the story. It's cool and different, so you may as well check it out, considering it's a free game this month. We got an extra strong lineup of games this month for the service's 10th birthday, so remember to add them to your library before you are out of time, especially considering we might get August free games announced next week. You have until the 4th of August to add these 3 games to your library. Alright, so that's it for the 5th installment of The Last Week in PlayStation. As always, I had a load of fun putting together some news articles regarding the world of PlayStation into an easy to watch video for you to enjoy every single Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button as it helps my video get recommended to other people, and consider subscribing, it would really help me out. Let me know down in the comments below if you're excited for Astros Playroom, or do you care about learning the Dualsense features at all, and are you upset that the Danganronpa games are being pulled from the Vita store. If you want to stay up to date with the channel, you can find me over on Twitter at AnthonyJGaming. I'm very active over there, so why don't you say hi. On the PlayStation Network, I'm AnthonyJGaming as well. Finally, follow me over on Instagram, where I'm AnthonyJosephGaming. Thank you so much again for watching The Last Week in PlayStation. Bye.